Told y'all. Told y'all. Told y'all. Woo! Told them, baby. They ain't listen. Hopefully people are listening now. I just hope people are listening now. Because we told them. They can never say, Sino, you didn't tell us. Because that's exactly what we did. The Boston Celtics. Is that X? Well, what's up, X? The Boston Celtics did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Don't forget to hit the like button. Absolutely. C-Pen for the win. I was going to do a string yard, but I know I'm finna do one tonight with the Laker game. So I just wait till tonight and do the Laker game. Because yesterday I was screaming out my mind. Dude, y'all don't know how close I came to blowing up the bubble. I was finna get on a plane, go to Orlando, with my wife beater on and a mask and a baseball bat. I'm getting off the plane, going to the bubble like this. Anybody walking up? This is how bad I was. Unbelievable. I was ready to blow this bubble up. And the reason why I was ready to blow the bubble up was because of the league. That fourth quarter. I was so infuriated with what they were doing in the fourth quarter. Boy, woo! They tried to help the Celtics out in every way, shape, or form in that fourth. And brought them back in the game. I said, that's it. I'm going to the bubble. I went on Twitter and blasted the whole league. I tagged them in it. I'm screaming corruption. I'm so doggone mad. You had no idea, man. None whatsoever on how mad I was. When they called that foul on the three-point shot, when he missed and put Tatum on the line, I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter. It was crazy, X. But breaking the game down, the Miami Heat played them man. They normally play man defense. Like everybody's guarding their own man. That's it. No real tricks to the defense. They rotate over. And then the second half, they went to a zone where mainly it was a different type of zone. They didn't show zone like we for the play zone. It just turned into a zone defense where everybody kind of fell back because the Boston Celtics were doing the same thing that they did in every other game they've played. Their athleticism, their speed, just slow that down. They went to a zone defense because in the first half, they were getting off all these shots and then they're opening up things to get to the basket. And by the time a guy rotate over, he's got a foul on him and they're getting 3-point plays. To cut that out, what they needed to do in this game, which was a surprise, is they needed to play Cantor. They need to play Cantor in this series. And the reason why they need to, and he fits this series and did not fit the last series. This is the series he needs to play because you need anybody that can fill the middle of the court. So you play the middle, they got to rotate into you. Then that opens up shooters. So in a zone, you got to advance the ball to the middle. So if this football, you hit the tight end. If they got the wide receivers covered, you hit the tight end. Hit the tight end. He needs the ball. And Cantor can pass the ball from the post. So you need him to have that ball so that they can pay attention to him. He can score. Cantor can at least score or be a threat to score. So somebody would have to respect and rotate and deal with him. They tried it earlier, but they didn't play zone. Miami just came in. He got some great buckets. I don't think he missed a shot. So they got what they were looking for when they went to that, lineup. If you're Boston, you're beating yourself. And the reason why I said Miami was going to win because I said Boston is going to beat themselves. Tatum does not have that dog in him. He's a great player, but to be an elite player, you got to be able to say, okay, I got to step this up. You got all you're going to get out of Brown. You got all you got to get out of Marcus Smart. Kemba Walker had 23 points, but he wasn't a great shooting night. But like I told you, he only had 3 assists. That's not going to win championships. Kemba Walker has to have more assists. You have to facilitate more in this series. If you come and get 3 assists, they are going to lose. You cannot be a person that's not facilitating. They don't need you to score all the points, Kemba. They need you to get the ball to the other guys because you're making it easier for them. If you're going to stay on the outside and shoot against Miami, Miami can shoot you out of the game. They have better shooters. Duncan Robinson, he's only going to shoot 3s. Let me break the news to you right now. He ain't going to put it on the floor and go to the rim. They don't want him to. He going to stand there and he going to shoot 3s. That's what he's going to do when he's in the game. Tyler Hero, what Tyler Hero's going to do, if you're looking at the drawing board and what they did from each game, they changed the whole aspect of what they were doing as far as roles. Tyler Hero's not a guy that just shoots 3s. Tyler Hero moves around off the ball. He moves around off the ball. He's a rookie. And he can bounce around off the ball like no problem. Going around, moving. But they're using him as a center to assist the center and rebound. People have not noticed how he has up in the rebounding department. First 2 games against Boston, he has come in and out-rebounded them. He's on the boards, and he's the one down the court. All that energy expended. Now, he's in a learning process on how to protect the ball in certain situations because he's a catch-it, release type of guy. But that's not what you need. Everybody's trying to be a hero. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the hero. But when you play what they call hero ball, you get to see the team implode. When you put Boston in these situations where they blow in big leads, they start to turn on each other. Marcus Smart got into it in the locker room. That's all everybody's talking about. Marcus Smart went crazy on him in the locker room. The reason why is because they are becoming emotional and they're falling apart. Brown came on late and started getting you points, but you basically got all you were going to get out of Brown. Brown is being beat on the defensive end. Tatum is being beat on the defensive end. Tate had a very hard time yesterday, basically dealing with people yesterday, as far as Tatum had a hard time guarding Jimmy Butler. He had a hard time rotating. He had a hard time, period, last night. He didn't know who to grab, who to help out on. You got people leaving Jay Crowder open for threes. It was crazy on rotations. This is the problem they had with Toronto. And the reason why that series went 7 when it should have been over. They blew 4 big leads in the playoffs. Last team that blew about that many leads are at home right now, the Clippers. They are at home right now. Well, it's throwing Tatum off because Jimmy Butler is not outscoring. It confuses you when someone is passing out of the post and it's supposed to be the star player, which is Jimmy Butler. What do you have is basically Jimmy's the point. Okay, Jimmy's really the point guard. Dragic is the 2 guard. And Jimmy will pass the ball from the wing and when he's right at the rim. Sometimes Jimmy should just go up. I mean, Jimmy, shoot it. Shoot it. But Jimmy don't shoot the ball. He'll kick it out to one of his shooters because they are an accurate for a 3-point shooting team. Man, I hate these doggone fruit flies. And I'm like, I don't have any fruit in here. What are they living on? I do have a job. My job is get paid. Well, when they move the ball around, it opens up opportunities for everybody else. Kemba is the weakest link. No, I mean, but Kemba is actually the key because you're not going to win without him. You need Kemba. If Kemba doesn't play well, you're not going to win. So you need him to facilitate more than shooting. When Kemba Walker gets the ball, Marcus Smart comes in the game. Right? What they're doing is they got 3 up front, 2 in the back. So they're rolling the switch zone and they're pulling up and letting Marcus Smart do all that wild dribbling. Marcus Smart is going to be looking to try to flop and get a call rather than trying to execute. So if he's not shooting the 3, you want Marcus Smart dribbling, trying to make and create a shot. Kemba Walker, that is a terrible lineup, by the way. Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker. I would try to avoid having them 2 on the court at the same time ever. Because those 2 don't work well with each other. And I can guarantee you, in the locker room, that's what the argument was about. When Marcus Smart yelled and cussed out the whole team and walked out. Tatum is being froze. Being froze is when you're prepared to guard somebody who might have the ball a lot and you're thinking, okay, I'm on this guy. And then you're being embarrassed. Like Bam was destroying them with alley-oop plays. All his points was in the paint because the Celtics are not communicating on back-end rotations. Same thing they did in Toronto. Tatum is not loud enough or saying, hey, there's no fans there. You should be able to communicate. But they're not rotating. So if you're not rotating, it's like, what are you doing? You're not rotating. You're just sitting there. I'm like, well, that's dumb. Anybody could just sit there. What's up, Danielle Parra? I see you. Does it remind me of the last Detroit team? Uh, Not really. I mean, it has that underdog feel to it, like they were the underdogs. But we played a lot differently than they played. But yeah, it's got that feel of they were the underdogs. We the ones that's coming up in the game. Jimmy Butler can score 30 points a game if he wanted to. He can easily go out and score 30. Would that help the Miami Heat win the game? Probably not. Jimmy will go out and score 30, and he scored 40 in the playoffs. 40. In the first game that they played against the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis, he scored 40. Why? Because they needed him to score 40. Nobody had it going. Jimmy had it going and said, okay, this is what I got to do. He's the utility man. Wherever there's holes and gaps in there, he got to come in and plug the holes. Wherever we leaking at, I got to fix it. Celtics don't know how to close. That's what I'm saying. That was the problem we saw in the Toronto series. Handling adversity and knowing how to deal with it. An adverse situation show up, you're poised. And this was separated the bad boy Pistons, the original ones, and how it was so hard to beat them. They were so poised when it came to the late of the games because they went through it already for so many years prior that when it came down to like, this is the clutch, they weren't even worried. They weren't even worried. They've been through it for years. And the Bulls, same thing. When it came down to the last seconds of the game, they weren't panicking. They would always, the games they should have lost, they came back and won because they had been through it so many times. They knew how to deal with it. The Lakers, same thing. They knew how to deal with these pressure situations when the game is on the line. The only way Boston can get back in this series, they have to rotate defensively. Defensively, they have to improve. Their defense on the post is what's destroying it. It's opening up everything for the three because they're not communicating on the back line. So the weak side defender doesn't have the help. So Tatum is not getting help. So alley-oops are happening. Everything's going on. You got athletic guys that can jump. Bam is going to jump. So if you got that post and you got that side, when they throw the alley-oop up, Tatum is the guy that's there by himself. Tatum is the guy that's going to get the fouls on him if they're attacking his side and they're coming right at Tatum. They already know guys aren't communicating on the back line, on the weak side. Miami knows this, so they're going to come in and attack. So they sent Bam in early to attack the post, which opened up Duncan Robinson. It opened up Jay Crowder. It opened up every shooter on the corners. Inside, outside. Now, how could they win offensively? Offensively, Kemba Walker has to change his approach. His approach has to be how he played Toronto. Distributing the basketball. In the early parts of that series, the first 3 games, Kemba Walker was distributing the basketball. That pass he threw to Tice, which should have been the game winner, that bounce pass that was sick, he was doing that the first 3 games, which was opening them up to have like maybe 12, 16 points, but you got 8, 9, 10 assists. They need you to be that guy. You can't be the 3 assist guy. That's why they're losing. That's a big key to why they're losing. They don't need Kemba to score 35. They need Kemba to have 15 and 10. It doesn't matter. Kemba knows you played a whole season already. You can't say it's his first year with them. It's Tyler Hero's first year in the NBA. Duncan Robinson's first year in the NBA. He's been playing. He's a veteran. He knows exactly how to play. His first year with them. It's not, look, they have played together. They already know what Kemba does and what Kemba don't. They already know where they fit. Kemba fits on the team quite well. It's just that when he's struggling, which he was early on, like he was like, man, I got to play better. You want to score and get some points on the board because you haven't been playing well for like 3-4 games. So when that's happening as a scorer, you just want to put points on the board. When they really need you to play in a system of distributing and getting everybody else going. Once you're getting Tatum some easy shots, you're getting Tice some easy buckets. Because when Tice plays well and he's getting easy buckets on the inside, that opens it up for the shooters. It's basic basketball. They're beating themselves. The Boston Celtics are beating themselves. Don't forget to hit the like button. You can always support the page by hitting up my Cash App, which is Carceno, Karceno. I said the Heat would beat them because the Heat plays more into a system where guys sell out to be who they are. They'll do a role if it's required. You know, and that's the thing. If they have a system of what they want to do. In this series, they've never played the same. That's the thing. The way they played the Milwaukee Bucks is not how they're playing the Boston Celtics. In the Boston Celtics game, they have Tyler Hero mostly crashing the boards in this series, way more than he did in the Milwaukee series. And the reason why is they need him because Brown is very athletic. And Brown likes to attack and crash the boards, which was an over the back when he got that rebound put back. And I was another one I was pissed on. We're going to get to the fourth quarter. Just hold on. I want to blame the coach, but then it's kind of like an excuse because as the coach, I'm quite sure he probably told him, y'all not communicating in the timeout. The coach can only do so much. But when you have when you got players that's making more money than the coach and they got more power than the coach, back in the 80s and 90s, like the coaches tell you to sit down and shut up. They didn't care. You had to deal with it. Now, the coach can get fired if the player don't like him. I don't like the coach. Let's get rid of coach. Back then, coaches got players fired or removed. I can't play with him. He's got to go. Now, they cater to the players like babies. Yeah, are you okay? Yeah, my feelings hurt. He embarrassed me. My mama over there yell at me. I don't like coach. That's okay. We get rid of coach. And next thing you know, coach is gone. So that's the new reality. Thanks, Lebron. That's the new reality that you're living in. For all the new people who just got here, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell. There hasn't been a good coach since Chuck Daly. Woo! That's a bold statement. But Chuck is one of the best I've seen do it because Chuck coached every possession. I don't think there was a possession he took off. Chuck Daly was the most intense trade. I mean, there's been some coaches in the 80s. There was some classic coaching going on. But I've never seen nobody like Chuck. Chuck coached everything. I mean, timeouts, 20 seconds. Chuck is intense. Okay, look, we're going to go X, then we're going to double. And if he do that, then you shift. And I'm box out. You think if you forget the box out one time, you out the game. I've never seen as many substitutions in that game. If you screw up one time, get in there for Sally. I mean, one play goes wrong, you're replaced. That's how they got down. Now let's get to the fourth quarter. The Miami Heat came back in the third, and Dallas was, Boston was choking. They felt Miami coming back. Miami came back. The lanes were open. Dragic was hitting the left-hand jump shot as if they forgot he's left-handed. And, and they're back in the game. And this game is finna get blown open. Boston cannot hit the ocean with a rock. And this like, man, what are they finna do? Boston is choking. This game finna be a runaway. The refs got so far involved in this fourth quarter from the very start. And I said, oh my God. They called the most ridiculous fouls. Whenever you start seeing these ghost fouls, everybody turn around, tweet. They're like, what? They're trying to put Boston in the penalty early so Boston can shoot free throws. But Boston is so stupid. They don't recognize what's going on. They're still jacking up threes. And I'm like, wow, these guys are really stupid. And when Tatum shot that three, and all what's his name did was contest and hold his hand up, and they called 3 free throws. I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter fast because there was no way in the world I was going to let that stand. It was so uncalled for. I tagged the NBA. Yep. I agree with that. Yeah, well, you got to look at it from different aspects of the game. I was talking with X. No, I was talking about he's saying Bron don't want to see Miami. uh, the Miami Heat is playing at a very high level of everybody knowing their roles. The referees can take the game from you, but you can answer that with execution. You got to put the ball in the basket. And that's what Dragic was doing. Dragic was hitting some big shots because they tried to make this like 1-1. Can you imagine what the next game gonna look like? Tyler Hero made some huge mistakes in the game, but he also corrected them during the game. So I was always very appreciative of that. No, I never put the Celtics in there with the Lakers. My prediction this year before the season was was the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, and the Bucks and the Lakers. That's what they were pushing. I was like Milwaukee Bucks and the Lakers. And if Giannis was healthy, who knows how they would have done this series. But now, the way this series has played out, when we did the right before the bubble, when we did the playoff review, we chose the Clippers and the Miami Heat. And the Clippers just let me down tremendously. And they let everybody else down because they weren't focused. They weren't in shape. And you let your star player kill himself to try to try to help the team win. It's just not a good look. Like, where ain't nobody hitting the like button? That's one thing that blew my mind. Oh yeah, my cash app is Carcino, Carceno. Who is White Dragon? Dragic, the White Dragon, sweet and sour Luke. Giannis wasn't hurt, dude. He got hurt, like for real, for real. You think Giannis wouldn't play? Giannis is not built like that, dog. My prediction for the Lakers Nuggets series: Lakers in six. Well, I'm betting on Adam Silver doing his thing. That's where my bets is. Lou failed himself because, like I told you, not everybody cares about winning an NBA championship. They just don't. And Lou did not spend time getting himself. He don't live, eat, and sleep basketball. There's a reason why he's been a six man everywhere he's went. And now you'd be like, why isn't Lou Williams starting? You always scratch your head and go, why that guy ain't starting? That guy should be starting. You start saying that to yourself, right? Like, have you ever wondered why Lou Williams wasn't starting? Why he's always coming off the bench everywhere he goes? You ever wondered that? Of course, because Lou doesn't want responsibility. The bench guy don't have a responsibility. He might have a good game, he might have a bad game, but he's on the bench. You see? Bench guy want to go out and party all night, strip club. Basketball ain't they concern in the off season. They know when basketball season, off season for them means off. People like Kobe, Kawhi, off season don't mean go get out of shape. Kawhi will relax and spend time with his family. But if you think he ain't finna spend time working on his game and working on his craft and getting better and learning positions of where players are gonna be, you're nuts. You are nuts. It's not gonna happen. You say J.R. Smith is smoking up for the game tonight. I don't know. I might do a video with Jenny. I don't know because I don't know when I'm gonna be back over there. Maybe, maybe this weekend. Maybe I could probably squeeze Saturday in. Yeah, it's a lot going on this week. So it was the laugh that did it. Oh, they need minor adjustments. Oh, they need some personality changes, and they don't have guys committed to winning. They got too many individuals and too many people in there. A lot of people probably don't know Paul George was fighting with Trez the whole time. Trez is very opinionated. Trez don't like Paul George. That's one. And it's like Lou Williams and Trez, those guys are like this. Like they before these guys got here, it was them two. So those guys were those guys. And they were the team. When Kawhi and them come through the door, they get all this special treatment and all this stuff. They superstars, and Trez is like, what am I? Like what is the rest of us? They get all this treatment and all this, and they ain't doing nothing. Meaning Paul George. And Kawhi is not the type of personality that can control the locker room when it's that chaotic. He's never played on a team this chaotic. He played in structured systems. Toronto was structured. Everybody knew their role. You didn't have this. And he came to this, where you got a bunch of immature personalities that you got to deal with and try to get them accustomed to winning. When he was with the Spurs, discipline. Nobody was going to say a thing in a locker room like that, in a pop locker room. That wasn't going to happen. The only person who was like that was Captain Jack. And we saw what happened to Captain Jack. Scalabrini. They gave up on Kelly Olynyk. Kelly is a lot better than they anticipated. And Kelly Olynyk has been doing this for a while. So I've always been impressed with how they handled that situation and that part of it. Do they need another playmaker on which team? Thanks, X. Appreciate it. I hope everything going well for you out there. Joel Embiid. I don't know if Joel Embiid is what they really need. I mean, they seem fine enough where they are. But if you I think it slows down the team at some point because we got to get Joel the ball where it's more free flowing the way the game is now. The way the game is now is more like free flowing offense where you don't like, no. Thanks, phone. You didn't blew my secret attack to get the doggone fruit fly out of here. But the attack on everything that's going on with the way their style is and how they attack, they're not like, we got to get Bam 25 a night. They don't have that mentality. Bam might have 15. He might have 12. One night he might have 10. Somebody else got 35. Then Tyler Hero got 25. It's so hard to gauge who's going to be the guy for the Miami Heat. You're like, yeah, we're going to shut down Jimmy Butler. Well, Jimmy don't mind if you think you shutting him down if he's getting the ball to everybody else and they scoring. Meanwhile, that scoreboard is like, wait a minute, thought we was up 15. We only up 3. And right next thing you know, you turn around, you down 7. And you like, wait a minute. How we losing? My guy got 10 points. What's up, Mr. Bailey? Yeah, it's killing. Yeah, the Lysol was killing me. I sprayed that. Next thing you know, I was on the ground. I'm like, when is that? You Carolina bread. Rick Ross finna pull out his 8-year-old Miami Heat gear. It's a throwback. Oh, I felt that where they were coming from, and we took care of that. Whenever you eat some fruit and you put it in the trash, oh, you got to get that out your house quick. I went to throw something in the trash, and it was like, wait a minute. They were like, it's a party going on right here. Celebration. Exactly. The Celtics got 5 starters who all want to be the leader. Exactly. That you said you hit it the nail right on it, right there. One moment, Kemba want to be the superstar. Tatum like, hey, it's my team. Brown's like, hey, it's mine. Marcus Smart, it's mine. Everybody the leader. No one has an identity. I agree. I mean, but Kemba has to be the guy. It's one thing to be the leader, but you have to lead. He needs to be a facilitator. They have to communicate. He has to make sure they're communicating on the back end. Guys got to wake up and realize what's happening. There was a lot of blown possessions. These alley-oop plays in a Eastern Conference Finals should not be happening. There shouldn't be an alley-oop with like 4 or 5 guys around the rim. That should never happen. Weak side defensive help is non-existent. The interior is being exposed. The lack of communication, and what you're having now is the Celtics are imploding. They're too busy fighting with one another. Tatum thinks he's Kobe. That's why he ain't Kobe. That's success. That's we know right now. He's got a lot of great ability, athletic ability. His scoring has improved, but when it's time to be that guy, where he see that this isn't going well. It don't mean just jack up a fadeaway 3. You got to put your bat suit on and get in there and get into the field. What they call we call getting into the grease. You gonna have to get into the grease, and that's what he gonna have to do. Get in the grease. Yeah, that's his last step. Once he becomes that guy, then he'll be on point. But he's not that guy, and for some reason he's just not that guy. D Rose to the Clippers for who? Lou Williams? If they get rid of Lou Williams and we lose Lou, let's say we lose Lou Williams and we bringing in no, I don't want that for Pat Bev. No. Pat Bev a difference maker. You can't have get rid of Lou. That's a powerful thing to say, but you got to understand something too. Lou played bad because Lou didn't take care of himself for 4 months. He wasn't thinking basketball for 4 months. When they started the season back, he wasn't one of the guys like, hey, we need to get the season going. He was like in the strip club, like, we playing? What? Oh, man. So now he's got to use the season, 8 games, to try to get himself in shape. Then he was out the bubble, and we know what he did there. Went back to the strip club. His mind wasn't on basketball because he's not sold into winning. Now, but during the regular season, Lou was great because he was in shape. So whenever you see Doc Rivers talk about conditioning, he was singling out people who weren't conditioned. Trez, we already knew. He wasn't conditioned. He went to his grandma's, so we knew he was out for a while. So the bubble destroyed some teams. They put this whole thing together because LeBron wanted it. And so Trez, he wasn't in any type of shape. So when he came back, all of these things started to happen and start all over again. It just became more of a problem. It's not the coach's job to get the players in shape. The coach's job is to get the players the game plan and tell them what they need to do and how the game plan is. And it's not their job to get the players in shape. That's up to the players. Now, if you're not prepared to play basketball, the only thing it's going to do is make you look bad on the court. You're going to make yourself look bad. You're going to fail your team. Lou just don't take me as a guy that gives a damn. Yeah, LeBron versus Pat Riley. You know it. Why? That's why the camera goes up there and scans on Riley. Then they got LeBron. Oh, the Pat Riley LeBron feud. We're gonna hear all about it. It's gonna be promoted. They going through the files. LeBron gets his. This is where LeBron won his first NBA championship. He goes against the Miami Heat, the team he won his first championship at. Yeah, and there was the talk about the split between him and James and how he went back to Cleveland. Now he's with LA. You already see the storyline. And that's why I was saying you could do Lakers versus Celtics, but you're just going off the, you know, basically off the historical value, but people don't really know who the Celtics are. There's no real connecting story there. It was like, well, LeBron and the Lakers beat the Celtics. You know, it's like, okay, some people know Jason Tatum, but you got to remember, they weren't even showcasing Boston. What's up? I see you. I agree. Godfather Riley. What's up, Jalen Williams? Don't forget to subscribe. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. It all matters. And shouts out to everybody that supported my Cash App. Carcino's the name on the Cash App. We appreciate the love and support. My man Seneca, Willie, Aaron, Strictly, EC, Sean, Mr. Hogan's, Brandon, what's up, B? Sincerely. Alan, who's in the chat. Noah King, Justin, Young Elder, Dimitri, Eric. D-Style. So Doc Rivers sound like he smoked the whole Marlboro box. Doc with that voice, man. I don't know. Doc seemed like he been relaxing playing golf than out there in Orlando than coaching. He was so lax. He was out coached in every series in the doggone thing. He wasn't doing nothing. Yeah, you think right now Lou was like, man, I didn't play well. Dang. I'm gonna have to get better. You think he thinking about we blew an opportunity. Lou Williams is thinking, man, that's how the game goes. The ball goes in, it don't, Yeah, tell him I'll be there at 5. Yeah, I mean, hey, man, we tried, man. We just didn't come together. We have enough time to really come in and gel together. Next year, yeah, we'll have another good year. All right, let's go. The car ready? All right, let me hit this and get my stuff on. Get to the club. She called back. I knew. She playing games, man. Ain't waiting on her. Call the other girls. This Lou ain't thinking about nothing else. He could care less. Unfortunately, in every sport, you have athletes that's like that. I did not play sports in high school because of this. If you don't, I cannot play for a team that does not want to win. If I see you don't want to win, I can't play with you. People like, you ain't play high school basketball? Hell no. Because they were like, man, it'd be cool if we won. But they didn't want to win. They loved our school colors. Sky blue and white. And man, our basketball jersey, we got the Carolina colors. Who ain't gonna wear that? People got the Carolina hat with the high school football jersey on, wearing it in the lunchroom, but you ain't playing. It's like, dude, you ain't playing. No, man, I got a little pool, coach. Yeah, right there. I can't run. I can't play today. He ain't gonna play football, but want to be on the team and wear the jersey, and they wouldn't even kick him off the team. So, but yet he in the lunchroom every day wearing the football jersey. So he's like, oh, you on the football team? Yeah, I'm on the team. They ain't win one game. Not one game. A whole senior year, not one game was won. If you start school in 5 minutes, why are you on this live? You should be right there, ready to go. Well, while you waiting, you should be off the live and ready for school, for your virtual school. Have a great day. Now get off your phone and focus on school. Get ready. When they kick off in 5 minutes, you should be the first one on the call. Have a great day for school. I know, Danielle Parr. Can you imagine if I had to go to school from home? Man, I would have tore that up. I was like, I got in trouble because I was going to school late. That was the worst whooping I ever got in my life. That whooping lasted for like 4 or 5 days. Whenever my mom got mad, I got a whooping again. She'll be on the phone talking about it. Yeah, then I came on and online learning sucks. No, it don't. I wish I had it. If I had it at your age, man, when I was your age, man, I was in 7th grade, I think. I'm thinking I was in 7th grade. Yep, I was in 7th grade. And I did that at 6th grade. So yeah, 7th grade. You want to know what's crazy? I just found my 7th grade class pictures. How crazy is that? Sino in seventh grade. Same guy. You know, I'm a lot better now, but at this time in seventh grade, I knew there would be a guy named Lebron that would come and plague the game. Because during this time, during this era, basketball was at an all-time high. You had real players, real ballers. So I've seen them. So I said, I'm looking around, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, why would I ever root for that? I've seen real ballers come. Ed Zachary. I ain't had sideburns, did I? No, that's just a shadow. I ain't had sideburns. Ba bam. Seventh grade Cino. I got a sixth grade picture of Cino in here. Boom. That's sixth grade. Sixth grade, seventh grade. One thing about Cino, he was sharp, wasn't he? Cino stayed sharp. That was the king of the school there, baby. That was the king. I ran the school with an iron fist. Then seventh grade happened. Was not happy in seventh grade. Happy? Not happy. See, back then suits were made big, big suits. See, y'all didn't know about fashion. He's like, I'm so happy the baggy style is out. I like the baggy style. I don't like all these tight clothes. Yeah. It ain't for me. Give me your old baggy suit. She's like, I hate dudes who wear jeans tighter than me. What happened, Danielle? Danielle Para. Yeah, I'm finna update the Patreon today. So I'll be seeing you over there, Danielle. Thanks, Smash Ball. That Patreon crazy. Crazy right now. Offset. Cardi don't even want Offset's money like that. So we'll get into that. Yeah, you was on Jenny's channel. She did a video, a live stream on what was that? Wednesday? Me and Mambia, the Ghanaian princess. I know it's crazy. Crazy. Oh, you talking about Jenny banned Frank? I don't think she banned him. She was asking me what was up with Frank. Denver might win the first game. The Lakers then lost the first game in every single one of these. I might put some money down on them. That's what I'm thinking about doing tonight, putting a big stack down on them. Matter of fact, let me go do that. Y'all didn't convince me. Let me go on ahead and do that. Now, if I lose, I'm blaming y'all.